Okay, guys, I'm here to give my thoughts on the WWE 2K16 DLC announcement and what we're going to get, as they released a trailer earlier, and it shows what we're going to get. Well, it didn't show all the new moves, but it showed some of them, but it did show all the superstars and stuff. So, all the DLC. Our Legends Pack, the 2K16 DLC Legends Pack, which includes 6 superstars. Lita, Trish Stratus, Roddy Piper, Dusty Rhodes, Mr. Perfect, and the Big Boss Man. Very good Legends DLC pack. Lita and Trish add to the Divas roster, which while not as lacking, needs a little bit of help. But that's not going to be a problem with me, because I create far more Divas than I do male superstars generally. So my Divas roster will be robust with all my created Divas. So my Diva show and universe will be all well and good, especially after I add Lita and Trish to the mix. Roddy Piper and Dusty Rhodes, good that we're paying tribute to 2 of the icons of the business, who have sadly passed away this past year. Good for them to be a part of this. And the Big Boss Man and Mr. Perfect. You can relive a lot of stuff with the Big Boss Man and Mr. Perfect. You could relive, if you want to, SummerSlam 91 with Mr. Perfect and Bret Hart, one of the all-time great Intercontinental Championship matches and one of the all-time great SummerSlam matches. You know, and good for the Big Boss Man to be in a game. And he's apparently not Attitude Era Big Boss Man either. He's apparently classic blue Big Boss Man in the blue actual police uniform. The Future Stars Pack. This is the NXT pack, well, it's primarily an NXT pack. As it's Diego and Fernando of Los Matadors, Blake and Murphy, and probably the biggest superstar in the pack, Samoa Joe. People who will buy that pack are going to be buying it for Samoa Joe, and probably Blake and Murphy. I don't know of anyone who really cares about Los Matadores. I mean, it's good that they're in the game as DLC, but does anyone really care about them? I sure don't. I mean, yeah, they add to the tag team roster, but Samoa Joe's probably the part of that pack that everyone's going to want. And probably Blake and Murphy, too. But I would say you should have probably added Carmella and Alexa Bliss to this pack, because then Enzo and Big Cass are complete with Carmella, and then you can add Alexa Bliss to Blake and Murphy. But that's 11 of the 30-plus superstars right there. And I guess the rest of the 30-plus superstars come in the Hall of Fame pack, the Hall of Fame showcase, with 7 matches in it. Randy Savage versus Jake the Snake Roberts, from which I assume will be Tuesday in Texas. You know, that one-off house show that turned into a pay-per-view that the WWE threw Survivor Series 1991 under the bus to promote. Yeah. So I imagine that each of them will be their own individual character. Ric Flair versus Tatsumi Fujinami, I'm guessing from Super Brawl 1 in WCW. I know it's a WCW match. I'm guessing it's the one from Super Brawl 1, because I think that's where the footage is from. But I know they also met in Japan, too, in 91. So I could be wrong on that, but I'll tell you this, if you want a present in the past to Japanese wrestling, you could put together a Tatsumi Fujinami and Hideo Itami tag team for Universe and stuff. That's provided if the 2K Showcase wrestlers can be used outside of that Hall of Fame showcase, which I imagine they would, because that would be stupid. That would be stupid if they're not. But, what do I know? Okay. Then we have Alundra Blayze versus Paige. I'm guessing that's just a fantasy warfare match that the developers put in there just for fun? Unless the WWE is planning an Alundra Blayze versus Paige match. I don't really understand. Alundra Blayze can also help the Divas roster, but a fantasy match of Alundra Blayze and Paige, really? If you're going to do a fantasy match of Alundra Blayze reaching anybody on the actual main WWE roster, put it against Nikki Bella or something like that, not Paige. I don't think there's enough, you know. Or heck, Alundra Blayze versus Natalya would even be a better fantasy match if you're going to do that, because that's essentially, I'm guessing, what this is. Then we have the Outsiders versus Harlem Heat from Halloween Havoc 1996. So that means we'll have a second Booker T, but Harlem Heat Booker T is different than modern day Booker T. So, it's still an interesting match. It gives us 2 Kevin Nashes instead of 3 that were in 2K14. And it adds Scott Hall to the roster too. And it adds Stevie Ray to the roster. So. Then we have Arn Anderson versus Larry Zbyszko. Now, I have no idea when this match took place. I know that it took place. I don't know. I'm guessing it took place at a Clash of the Champions at the Wrestle War of 92. But I could be wrong on that. But it adds both Arn Anderson and Larry Zbyszko to the roster. Then a interesting match to have added, the Bushwhackers versus the Natural Disasters from SummerSlam 1991. Because yes, that is where this match took place. I know that Andre the Giant's in the Bushwhackers corner for that, so you'll probably have a DLC attire for Andre. But this adds both the Bushwhackers plus both the Natural Disasters to the roster. And the Natural Disasters are always nice. You know, Earthquake was nice. The Bushwhackers are always fun. So to have them officially in our roster is interesting. And then we have Rikishi versus The Rock from SummerSlam from Survivor Series 2000. So, yeah, most of these matches are unique. I find it interesting, though, that of these matches, 3 are from WCW, 3 are from the WWE, and 1 is a fantasy match. The 3 from WWE are Savage, Jake Roberts, the Bushwhackers, Natural Disasters, and Rikishi Rock. And the 3 from WCW are Anderson versus Larry Zbyszko, Outsiders versus Harlem Heat, and Ric Flair versus Tatsumi Fujinami. And the new moves pack, they didn't really show all 30 new moves, so I can't really judge that. I do know that you're getting Sin Cara's Springboard Swanton, Kevin Owens' Top Rope Fisherman Buster, some weird move from John Cena starts like a Fallaway Slam position and he spins around into a Face Buster type thing, a crossface chicken wing, Nikki Bella's little springboard enziguri that she does. I know those. Then there's probably going to be other ones than that. So, the only thing is they haven't announced what the price of the DLC of the season pass is. I'm guessing it's going to be $25 like it was last year. And if you want my opinion, this is worth $25. Because all of this is unlike last year where $25 essentially got you Paige, this year $25 is getting you all the DLC up front. Even if there's nothing when you first buy the season pass, you get it all up. It's a one upfront $25 payment to get all 4 of these DLC packs, because they're probably going to be an individual DLC pack in their own right. So I think it's worth the price. I think it'll be worth the money to buy. And by the way, I'm not talking about the PS4 version of the season pass, because that's everything, but it doesn't include the My Career Kickstarter. Which I don't even know what that is, but like I said, and the season pass also includes the accelerator, so, which I don't use just because I prefer to still do the old school way, because I have no way of doing universe mode on YouTube anyway. I prefer to do the old school way of actually earning my unlockables. I understand that people who do it for YouTube do it, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. I myself, though, just like the old school way of actually earning the unlockables. I have used the accelerator if I can't unlock somebody based on what I know unlocks them. Then I'll use the accelerator to get the stuff I can't unlock. Excuse me. But that's the only time I use the accelerator. So I'll put this in the 2K16 confirmation list as the last video in that. And I'm going to put the full roster with all the DLC in the description box. That's all the DLC superstars in this, plus both the pre-order bonuses. So if you like the video, like button is down there, subscribe button is down there, and thank you for watching. Bye.